It became official on Tuesday morning of this week that Republicans have in fact won a majority in the House of Representatives. Now, as of this recording, there are still votes being counted in California, so there are just a handful of seats left where we do not necessarily have a projected winner. So the Democrats could increase their numbers by a couple of seats, but either way, it's not enough to cross the threshold because the Republicans already crossed the threshold with 219 members. Either way, of course, it's going to be just a handful, a very slim Republican majority in the House, much like what they already had. But this means, and it's time for the brutal honesty here, folks, Republicans will control every single branch of the U.S. federal government. Every bit of it. The courts, the White House, the Senate, and the House. There will be no checks. There will be no balances. There will be Republican rule for at least the next 2 years. So we have a choice. We can either sit here, wallow in self-pity, be afraid of things that we cannot change, or we can regroup, right? We can strategize. We can be smarter. We can come up with ideas to figure out why the Democrats did so bad last week. And you know what? I got to say this because I'm so sick of seeing it. Like, all these folks on social media are like, well, hold your horses on the landslide talk, because as we finish counting the popular vote, Trump only won by like 1.5%, maybe 2%. Honest, like that, who cares? Honest to God, who cares? It doesn't matter if Trump wins by 0.5 point or if he wins by 50 points. He won. It's over. I don't care about the margins at all. What I care about is why the Democratic Party did so badly and why we lost ground all over the country. Why are we losing these demographics? And the answer, I believe, I agree with Bernie Sanders, the Democratic Party has, at least in perception, abandoned the working class of the United States. I'm not saying they did abandon them. I do think in many ways they did. But the perception across the country is that the Democrats did this. So we have to fix that perception by being even stronger for the working class. We have to do that. We have to talk to them. We have to get out there. We have to be seen. We have to be visible. We have to come up with plans. We have to sit and talk to them and ask what they want us to do. That is what the Democratic Party needs to spend the next 2 years doing. That is what we all need to be doing. So again, I tell you this. Yeah, at least until the 2026 midterms, Republicans control everything. And we can't change that for 2 years. But come November 2026, we will have a chance if we course correct. But if we sit here being sorry for ourselves, worried about things that we cannot change, we won't do it. And we'll have at least another 2 years after that to do the same crap. We can create support systems for one another. We can protect one another. Some of us have bigger targets on our backs than others. We have to protect one another from what is coming. We have to be strong. We have to be firm, but we have to be together. And that's the part I think a lot of people are missing. We're seeing a lot of Democratic fighting right now. That's not solving any problems. You're all trying to blame one another when all of you contributed to the problem. We have to be better. We can suffer through these 2 years together. But if we suffer separately, it's going to be hell. And we won't learn any lessons, and we won't fix it in 2026. Thanks for watching, everybody. And if you're not already, please subscribe to the channel. We got fresh content every day for you. And if you want to follow us across social media, make sure you check out all of the social links that we have posted in the description of this video.